Hello everyone, welcome to another Bloons Tower Defense Chimps mode guide, and today I'm going to be showing off 6 tower combos that you might not have heard of. And now, these are going to be some tower combos that aren't the best, but they certainly are going to be some that you might not have heard of because they're just some original combos I made from underused just combinations. Not the very obvious ones like, for example, Ninja Alchemist, because, you know, the amount it can cover is extremely strong for its price. Because all you have to do is get a stick mixture dip and then boom, you know, you got it. But anyways, there are going to be 6 different combos with some honorable mentions right before the first, like the best one. And these aren't in a particular order, it's just loosely based on how strong I think they are. But let's get on with the first one. Now the first one, it's only down here just because of its price, because it does take a Dark Champion, which is an extremely expensive tower. It's like 80k I think, and that's really hard to say for. But again, Dark Champion's extremely good, and you get that global range with it. But the tower you should combo it with, in my opinion, is the biggest one, with of course Rapid Reload, because this tower can absolutely shred through ceramics. Like, let's send out, I don't know, 1000 ceramics, and let's not make them camo. Oh wait, these aren't super ceramics. 1 second. 81. Send out some ceramics, and I'm gonna move him. Okay. Yeah, it just absolutely can shred through basically any ceramics as long as you have, like, not even a good bend. It just has to be a straight line, and with like jungle drums, and then that's primary training. Just adding in a jungle drums and radar scanner is probably the support you need for this. But this isn't a biggest one video. This is a combos video, and the combo I'm going to be showing off is the synergy between these two. Because, as you may know, the Dark Champion excels in absolutely destroying Moabs and stuff, but it's really bad against group limbs. So, let's go send out 98, and of course you probably will micro this, and I don't think it can solo. But it can do an insane amount of damage, and this is basically this is the towers that you want for your carry later on. And of course this is not the strongest suit against the Dark Champion. And you probably do want to Dark Shift on the harder rounds. But either way, this combo can still be extremely strong. And if you even had like minor support, I probably could have beaten that. But the one thing that does do really well against is things like DDTs, like let's send out 99. Of course, the mobs normally aren't an issue, but look at the DDT damage the Dark Champion can just absolutely dish out to them, and then you have the biggest one to clean up the ceramics. Now for the second combo, I actually need to be going into a map that has water, because this requires some water for it. I'm not going to go into skates, that's a, I don't know, I don't like that map. I'm going to do this in, I think, Cubism. Yeah, I like that map. So the combo I'm going to be showing off is, so for the number 2 combo will actually be Sky Shredder. Let me place it down real quick. Going to be Sky Shredder, and I'm going to give it Sharper Darts and of course a Village to buff it just for the camo detection, just for showing off the combo itself. And then I'm going to be, now the second tower is actually going to be a Carrier Flagship, because as you can see, it buffs the attack speed of Monkey Aces, and the global range is especially good on maps with line of sight blockers. For example, Flooded Valley, this would probably be pretty strong on. But let's go send out like round 100 and see how well it does. And yeah, as you can see, it's doing insane amounts of damage. You've already gotten through the first damage stage, and it hasn't gotten through the first bend. And yeah, if you had like some support towers, maybe like an Overclock, you could probably beat this pretty easily on almost any expert map. But yeah, you already popped it, and it hasn't even gotten like halfway there. But yeah, this is an extremely strong combo, and it's pretty cheap, only like, I think like 80k for the 2 of them, so the price is definitely a big benefit. Now, for the next combo I'm going to be showing off will be Permafrost, actually, yes, Permafrost, a very, very cheap tower, and you know, you'd probably get like larger radius or enhanced freeze just depending on what you need, and actually the tower it's going to be comboed with is Spiky Balls. So, oh, that's Moab Shredder, I am struggling today. Anyways, you have Spiky Balls, or Spiked Balls, and Permafrost, and the reason this is so strong is because of Super Ceramics. This is not a defense that will carry you all the way throughout. It's not even close to that, but these two towers by themselves can alleviate super ceramic pressure by a whole ton, and I know that's something I struggle with and a lot of other people struggle with, because the ice, of course, does stall out the ceramics a bit and kind of doesn't put them all on the Spike Factory at once, which would leave it overwhelmed. And yeah, just the Spike Factory and the Permafrost can almost defend 100 super ceramics, and of course you would have more time to prepare since you'd probably be like popping Moabs before. But yeah, it's like 5k for this and like 500 for this. But let's send out those 99 ceramics without that Permafrost and see how well our Spiked Balls goes against it. And it has extra preparation time, and yeah, you don't even get anywhere close to it. But yeah, Permafrost is a very cheap tower to just boost the power of your Spiked Balls a whole ton if you're trying out some Spiked Ball spam as a way to defend against super ceramics. And I'm going to send out this to clear it out. And then I'm going to be showing off the next combo shortly after that gets cleared out. Alright, so the next tower combo I'm going to be showing off, this is the number 4 spot, and that will be the Archmage. Again, a very powerful-ish tower. It is a bit underrated, I mean not underrated, overrated for what it does. That's just my personal opinion. And then, oh, wrong crosspath. And then of course, Bloon Solver. This is just powerful for its solo capability, and let's just go ahead and buff the Blue Gunner real quick. And then I'm going to send out round 98, my classic testing round for how good it is against late game, because 98 is of course the round you're going to be struggling with a lot. Now, the reason this combo is so strong is the Bloon Solver basically fills the weakness of the Archmage, and this is very loud. 1 second. Yeah, that was just very loud for me while I was trying to talk. But the reason it's so strong is because this just perfectly covers the weaknesses of the Archmage, and of course it is a pretty cheap combo, so you can't have a whole lot of support. The main drawback to this is you can't have a Moab glue since the Bloon Solver glue would override it, but either way, this is a very strong combo for just not really wanting to think about Chimps mode. And of course you can have like some buffs and stuff to make everything a lot easier, since you probably would have a lot of extra money if you just bought this. And that's basically this one. And did I say this was the 4th spot because this was the 3rd? Anyways, now it's time for the 2nd combo, and that will be the Spike Factory. Just any Spike Factory. I know this isn't exactly a combo, but mainly just like Spike Storm, Perma-Spike, or Spiked Balls probably. And of course the 3rd tier, Heli Pilot, and I'm going to go ahead and just get faster firing on this. And the combo, why it's so strong, is because you have such great stalling capability. So let's send out like some Perma-Spikes. And like let's say you just finished up a round and then you have like some ceramics that are going through. And what you can do actually is see how many Perma-Spikes you have built up, and let's say you're about to go against like round 98 or something. You can actually micro your heli to stall out these ceramics, and it gives the Perma-Spike a whole ton of extra time to prepare. And of course it could be useful for things like Carpet of Spikes, also for getting the ability back up, and also Spiked Mines for just basically being a bit like the Permafrost and being able to split up the ceramic groups so then you don't have all of it on your Spike Factory at once and end up getting it overwhelmed and then dying a horrible death to just ceramics. Because if you're going to die to something manly like a DDT, not just ceramics. The pull Perma-Spike and Downdraft combo, or just any other Spike Factory, it gives time for the Spike Factory to prepare. Very strong combo if you're using a Spike Factory as a main DPS, get a Downdraft. And now for the honorable mentions. I actually am going to have 2 of them this time, and I already have this set up. The first honorable mention will just be any kind of Heli Pilot plus any kind of slowdown, and the Heli Pilot can also be extended to global ranges to an extent. For example, like it also works a bit well with Monkey Aces, and the reason this is an honorable mention is just because of the broadness of it. It's just slowdowns plus global ranges slash helis. That isn't very, like, specific. Okay, this is gonna sound like I'm just insane explaining this, but anyways. The Heli Pilot is doing stuff as long as the balloons are on screen. So as long as you can keep those balloons on screen for as long as possible, you can get the most damage out of your Heli Pilot. So like, for example, let's just send this out, and I'm going to send out like 100 BFBs. For example, this is basically like upping a heli pilot's range almost. I'm going to slow them down. And as you can see, it's very much just ripping through them. I'm not even microing it right now. And I think it can actually deal with all 100 of them. That's pretty impressive that just this heli pilot can get through all of them. And I don't actually think I can. Maybe, and yes, we do mow through all of them. And let's do the same test with only just some BFBs. Let's see how well we do it. And we'll probably leak some lives pretty soon because we don't have the slowdowns. And yeah, it's just not doing nearly as well. And of course I do have it on pursuit. You would be microing this if you did it, and yeah, it isn't even close. You get like so many more. Yeah, that is disappointing from the heli pilot, just without the slowdowns. And now for the last honorable mention, I only had 2 of them this time. It's actually going to be the druid, any kind of druid, and the sell button. Now the reason I didn't include this in the actual good combos is because you can't do it in Chimps mode, of course. You would need something like a temple to get rid of this god-awful tower if you buy it for some reason. But there's also another strategy you can use, is the very secret strategy. It's just avoiding buying this tower entirely. Alright, for the number 1 spot, I said this wasn't in any particular order, or just like loosely in any particular order. But this is definitely the best combo in my opinion, and definitely the most underutilized. It is a Moab Mauler plus a Moab Press, excuse me, plus a Moab Glue. And of course, all the other tower combos were all 2 towers, but I never put that in my, requirements, so, yeah. I'm going to add, now the reason this combo is so strong is just for its sheer Moab power, because all of them basically play off of each other's strengths. So, of course, they're all primary towers, so you can also add the added benefit of primary mentoring villages, which of course boosts their power a lot. But the reason this is so strong is because the Moab Mauler does really well against large clumps of things like Moabs, BFBs, and ZOMGs. And of course these also play to that strength perfectly, because this will group them up, and this also stalls them out, which does group them up. And of course it does struggle a whole lot against normal balloons. This is definitely good supporting DPS for Moabs, but it can do a whole lot for just being like 10,000 maybe for the 15 I think for the entire thing plus a village. But yeah, as you can see, it's doing a lot of damage to this. This isn't exactly the great test for it, but let's go send out 100 BFBs. And of course this is a lot less than what I sent out for the helicopter, but yeah, it's doing a whole ton of damage. And look at how much damage this is doing, almost 1,000 per shot. And of course you'd probably get more Moab Maulers if you were doing this strategy, maybe like Striker Jones, Gwendolyn, maybe something should buff them, Alchemists. And yeah, this is just really good against doing a lot of damage to grouped up Moabs. It's basically, Unstable Concoction would probably fit pretty well in this, and of course you do need something to clean this up, maybe like a Permaspike or a biggest one. But yeah, I can't handle 100 BFBs on its own for obvious reasons. It's not that great. I mean, it's good, but it's not insanely broken. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see some more Bloons Tower Defense strategies and guides, please like, comment, and subscribe what you'd like to see. Comment, not subscribe what you'd want to see. That doesn't make much sense. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, stay tuned for more. Bye.